Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Global Voices, where we delve into the pressing issues that affect our life, regardless of where we are. I'm your host Tony. Today we're going to tackle a topic that touches every one of us, taxation. Specifically, what constitutes a fair tax percentage, and at what point does taxation become inhuman? Taxes are the backbone of any government, funding everything from schools and roads to public safety and healthcare. However, the question of how much tax is fair and when it becomes a burden is one that has been debated for centuries. Let's start by defining what we mean by fair taxation. The concept of fairness in taxation often revolves around the idea that taxes should be levied, based on the ability to pay. The principle is known as progressive taxation. In a progressive tax system, those who earn more pay a higher percentage of their income in taxes compared to those who earn less. This system aims to reduce income inequality and provide more resources for social services. A fair tax system ensures that the wealthier segment of society contribute a proportionally larger share of their income. This helps to redistribute wealth and funding essential public services that benefit everyone, especially the less privileged. So, a progressive tax system can be seen as a fair because it considers the economic disparity among citizens. But fairness also includes transparency in how tax revenue are used, ensuring that the funds collected are used efficiently and effectively to benefit the public. Now, let's look at some examples. In various countries, tax rates range widely. For instance, some countries have federal income tax rate ranging from 10% to 37%, even 50%, depending on income levels. The more you earn, the higher your tax rate. On the other hand, some countries have higher overall tax rate but provide extensive social benefits, which we call a fair deal, such as free healthcare and education, which many people view as a fair trade-off. According to a report by the OECD, the average tax burden among its member countries is around 34%. Countries like Denmark and France have higher tax burden, upward to 45%, while countries like Mexico and Chile have lower burdens, around 20%. The perception of a fairness often depends on the quality and accessibility of public services provided in return for the taxes paid. But when do tax cross the line from being fair to inhuman? This happens when the tax burden becomes so heavy that it stifles economic activity, disproportionately affects the poor, or is used to fund corrupt or oppressive regimes. In many developing countries, the poor often bear the brunt of taxation through indirect taxes like VAT or a hidden tax. When basic necessities become unaffordable due to high taxes, it can lead to increased poverty and social unrest. Taxes should never be so high that they prevent people from meeting their basic needs. Indeed, taxes that stripe away the ability to afford food, shelter, and healthcare are inhuman. Historical examples include the oppressive tax regimes in medieval Europe, which often led to peasant revolts, and more recently, austerity measures in some countries that have led to widespread economic hardship. Achieving a fair and human tax system is a delicate balancing act. Government needs sufficient revenue to provide public services and infrastructure, but they must also ensure that taxation does not stifle economic growth or lead to undue hardship, and most important, transparency in how this money is spent. This balance can be achieved through a combination of progressive tax policies, efficient public spending, and social safety nets that protect the most vulnerable populations. Additionally, Ensuring transparency and accountability in how tax revenues are spent is crucial for maintaining public trust and compliance. In conclusion, fair taxation is essential for a healthy and equitable society. While tax rate and system may vary across the world, the principle of fairness, ability to pay, and human treatment must guide tax policies. It's not just about how much we pay, but also about how the money is used to create a better society for all by providing public services for free for the citizens. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Global Voices. I hope this discussion have provided some clarity on the complex issue of taxation. If you have any question or comment, feel free to reach out on our podcast messages down below or social media channels. Until next time, take care and stay informed.